The Voice of America faced a devastating setback. A federal appeals court issued a stay, halting the planned return of VOA reporters to work. This stay temporarily blocks a lower court order that had prevented the Trump administration from dismantling the international broadcaster. This recent development has, cast a shadow of uncertainty over the future of VOA. The appeals court's decision, a 2-to-1 ruling, sent shockwaves through the organization. Judges Naomi Rao and Gregory Katsas, both appointed by President Trump, formed the majority. They argued that the government was likely to succeed in its case and questioned the district court's authority to intervene in the matter. The stay represents a significant victory for the Trump administration, which has long sought to exert greater control over VOA's editorial direction. Trump and his allies have repeatedly accused VOA of bias against conservative viewpoints. They view the broadcaster as a mouthpiece for the American government, rather than an independent news organization. The stay is a temporary measure and will remain in effect until the appeals court issues a final ruling on the merits of the case. This latest twist in the ongoing legal battle has left VOA staff in a state of limbo, facing the prospect of a protracted struggle over the organization's future. At the heart of this legal battle lies President Trump's March 14, 2025 executive order. This order targeted 7 federal agencies for dismantling, including the U.S. Agency for Global Media, which oversees VOA and provides funding for other international broadcasters like Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, and Radio Free Asia. Trump's executive order reflects his administration's broader efforts to reshape the federal bureaucracy. The order aims to streamline government operations and reduce what it perceives as wasteful spending. However, critics argue that the order is a thinly veiled attempt to silence dissenting voices and consolidate power within the executive branch. The executive order's impact on VOA was immediate and far-reaching. It led to the dismissal of the organization's top leadership, including its director and deputy director. The order also triggered a hiring freeze and a review of all VOA programming. These actions sent shockwaves through the organization, raising concerns about its independence and future. The executive order's legality was immediately challenged in court. Several lawsuits were filed, alleging that the order violated the First Amendment and other constitutional protections. These lawsuits argued that the order represented an unprecedented attempt to interfere with the freedom of the press and silence critical voices. In a resounding victory for VOA, District Judge Royce Lamberth ruled on April 22, 2025, that the Trump administration's attempt to dismantle the broadcaster was unlawful. Judge Lamberth, a Reagan appointee, issued a scathing rebuke of the administration's actions, calling them arbitrary and capricious. He ordered USAGM to restore VOA and other news services to their previous operational status. Judge Lamberth's ruling was a testament to the importance of a free and independent press. He recognized that VOA plays a vital role in providing objective news and information to audiences around the world, particularly in countries where press freedom is restricted. He argued that the Trump administration's attempts to interfere with VOA's operations undermined its credibility and effectiveness. The district court's decision was met with relief and jubilation by VOA staff. They viewed it as a vindication of their work and a reaffirmation of the organization's mission. The ruling paved the way for the planned return of VOA reporters to work and the resumption of normal programming. However, this victory proved to be short-lived. The Trump administration, undeterred by the district court's ruling, immediately appealed the decision to a higher court. This appeal set the stage for a protracted legal battle that would ultimately determine the fate of VOA. The appeals court's subsequent stay of the district court's order has once again cast a shadow of uncertainty over the organization. The appeals court's decision to issue a stay, effectively halting VOA's return to work, dealt a significant blow to the organization and its supporters. The 2-to-1 ruling, with Judges Rao and Katsas in the majority, highlighted the partisan divide on this issue. Both judges, appointed by President Trump, sided with the administration's arguments, while Judge Pillard, an Obama appointee, dissented vigorously. The majority opinion, authored by Judge Rao, argued that the government was likely to succeed in its case on the merits. Rao questioned the district court's jurisdiction to block parts of Trump's executive order, suggesting that the lower court had overstepped its authority. She also expressed skepticism about VOA's claims of irreparable harm, arguing that the organization could seek redress through other legal avenues. Judge Katsas, in a concurring opinion, echoed Rao's concerns about the district court's jurisdiction. He argued that the lower court had failed to adequately consider the government's interests in this case. Katsas also emphasized the importance of deference to the executive branch in matters of national security and foreign policy. The appeals court's decision revealed the significant influence of judicial appointments on the outcome of this case. The Trump administration's efforts to reshape the federal judiciary, particularly by appointing judges who share its ideological views, have had a tangible impact on this and other legal battles. Section 5. Dissenting voice. Judge Pillard condemns stay's impact. In a scathing dissent, Judge Patricia Millett, appointed by President Obama, condemned the majority's decision to issue a stay. She argued that the stay would cause irreparable harm to VOA and other international broadcasters, effectively silencing their voices at a time when the world desperately needs independent news and information. Judge Millett accused the majority of misconstruing the law and ignoring the substantial evidence presented in the district court. She argued that the Trump administration's actions were clearly motivated by a desire to control VOA's editorial content, which she deemed a blatant violation of the First Amendment. Pillard's dissent highlighted the dangerous precedent set by the majority's decision. She warned that the stay would embolden other governments to censor and intimidate journalists, knowing that they could find a sympathetic ear in the Trump administration. She argued that the stay undermined America's credibility as a champion of free speech and a free press. The dissenting opinions served as a stark reminder of the importance of judicial independence and the need for judges who are willing to uphold the Constitution, even when it means ruling against the government. Judge Pillard's dissent offered a glimmer of hope to VOA staff and its supporters, suggesting that the fight was far from over. The Department of Justice initially gave the green light for a return, but then, the appeals court stepped in. This unexpected intervention has added another layer of complexity to an already convoluted situation. Kari Lake has hailed this moment as a victory for Trump's agenda. Her enthusiastic endorsement has energized supporters, even as the legal battles continue to unfold. Reporters are gripped by uncertainty amidst the ongoing legal turmoil. The atmosphere is tense, and the future remains unclear for many in the journalism community. The fate of Voice of America hangs in the balance. Decisions made in the coming days will significantly impact the organization's direction and its dedicated journalists.